Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Ocean's Pit, a little show about big things. I hope you guys are having a great day. It's beautiful out. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful fall. This is the way we love it, and I'm glad you guys are joining us here today on your lunchtime hour. I hope you're enjoying it. Ocean's Pit. Check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com, and give us a call at 847-769-8609 to book a show. Every show is dedicated to the first responders, and mostly it's dedicated to people like you who take the time and watch the show. Whether you're watching us live on the Tony Ocean Show Facebook page, the Mo Carraro Facebook page, the Ocean's Pit Facebook page, or LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you're watching it, it's all happening all at the same time. So whether you're watching it now or you're watching it later, we're happy and thank you for all the viewers that do watch the show. We get about over 1,000 views a day, and we do appreciate it. We got a great show lined up for you here on Friday, October 25th, a couple days away from Halloween, right? Got a week or so before Halloween. And then, of course, the big election coming up on the 5th of November. So that should be interesting. We'll talk a little bit about that. But we got two great guests on today, folks. I've been promoting this great show with my good friend Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones. Of course, Rick Lindy's been around a long time with his tribute to Johnny Cash and Elvis and Jerry Lee and a lot of rock and roll stuff, which you're going to love. And, of course, we got Ocean's Rat Pack, Bill Saratella, Elliot Winbush, and we're going to be doing our tribute to Frank, Dean, and Sammy. It's going to be happening Wednesday at the Tivoli Theater, the beautiful Tivoli Theater in Downers Grove. It's a beautiful 1,000-seat a theater, which we got to see it about a week ago. And so today, our guest will be Tim Seaton, of course, the promoter, putting this thing together. And, of course, Rick Lindy. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime. Let's go to work, baby. Yeah. Thank you, my good buddy Dino Manzella from Seventh Heaven, for putting that all together for me, folks. It's Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. You know what? We're having a great day, and I'm ready because we're ready for the weekend. So it's going to be fun. I want to first of all, start off by thanking our good friends Frank and Bill from Positano's in Oak Brook last night. What a jumping audience for a Thursday night, which we're very fortunate to be playing during the week, and you people coming out and spending your hard-earned money. But I want to thank everybody that did show up. I appreciate it very much. Of course, I wanted to say great job, Jerry Jams Arenda, of course, and of course, the incomparable Lisa P. knocking it out of the park. It was great seeing my good buddy Bill Saratella stopping by. Also, James Palucci from his new Three Dog Night Band. Of course, a couple of the other guys, Frank Palapala was there too. Frank, a great engineer and producer, of course, and Joe Scumaci was also part of the band. So it was great for them guys to stop by. We do really appreciate it. Also, Susie Positano with her production company. So thank you guys, all of you guys, for stopping by. We do appreciate it. But let's get right to our sponsor, folks. It's called Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local. Norridge, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park, Warrenville, and now Mesa, Arizona, folks. U-Haul Rentals at all their locations are here for all your moving needs, personal, business, small loads. They have you covered. Let's not forget to take advantage of their auto key programming at all their stores. They program in card cut keys up to 50% less than dealership. Visit your helpful help to speak to a certified team member. That is Ace is the place. They also have decorations for Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. So go over there, support local establishments, buy local, shop local. Ace, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. I also want to thank Louis Pipes last night, singing it up as he did. So we do really appreciate very much Louis Pipes. Tonight we'll be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse. That's an 8 o'clock hit with the Professor Daryl Armenstad. Saturday we'll be at Taverna on Division in Melrose Park with Double T Tony Toto. And guys, Sunday we leave for the Josie Awards, the Grand Ole Opry, Nashville, baby. Ocean's Pit again was honored to be nominated again for Independent Media Show, which we won in 2022. Ocean's Rat Pack is nominated for Best Tribute Group, and we won that in 2023. So this year we're nominated in both categories. The Josie Awards is the #1 independent award show in the country. It's held at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. About 3,000 people fill that theater for this special event. And it's an incredible event if you ever get a chance to go up there or be nominated or just go as an attendance, because there's a lot of different people there and everybody's and they have the red carpet, they have media, big pre-party afterwards. We're bashing it up after that. And I'm excited to be part of it again this year in Nashville at the Grand Ole Opry. We'll be there on Sunday. And then Monday we get up early and we're going out to Graceland. I'm not a big, giant Elvis fan, as you guys all know. I like a lot of his B-cuts more than his actual hits. I liked Elvis when he got a little 70s Elvis, a little bit more. I didn't care for the hound dog and all that shit. But I went to Graceland twice. I think I went to years and years ago when my girlfriend was just out of high school. And then I took my sister when she graduated high school. So it's changed a lot, and we're going with Nixa Hodges, the piano man, of course, and Phyllis, the first lady of music, and my lovely wife, Laura. So it's going to be a lot of fun going into Graceland for a couple of days, relaxing. And then we come back, and we have a show here on the 30th at Rosario's Halloween Bash. So make sure you dress up in your costumes and win some prizes, and that's going to be Rosario's in Roselle. And then we leave on the 31st, and we're off to Louisiana Downs. That's right, the Louisiana Downs Casino in Louisiana with Ocean's Rat Pack 2 nights, Friday and Saturday, November 1st and 2nd. A lot of good stuff. Let's talk about another sponsor, folks. And we got a couple minutes left before we bring up our guest. A brand new sponsor for us, folks. Woo, woo, woo. Eating healthy and doing it right, folks. It's that simple. If you want to do it, it's good. Chipotle's fantastic, good. But if you want fast food and you want it done right, Mexican style, let's not forget our good friends from Guzman and Gomez, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Fast food made healthy, clean, enjoyable. Check them out. So far, they have locations in Schaumburg, Crystal Lake, Buffalo Grove, and Naperville. Download the GYG app and sign up and get one free burrito, folks. You got to love this. Come out and try their burritos, tacos, bowls, salads. They even have a burrito replacing the rice for French fries. Keep in mind they're offering fundraisers, catering, and more. You got to give them a try. So give our son Joe, who's the brand new regional marketing manager, and give him a call at 224-636-3646. Say you want to learn more about Guzman and Gomez. And don't forget, download that GYG app and get a free burrito. You got to try them out. They are fantastic, and they're great. Also want to say thank you to our other sponsors, Armando's Supermarkets, 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois. Buy local, shop local. You got to love Danny Mazzi and the guy and Robin. Thank you so much for that. And Mike and Gigi from Crash Champions Collision Auto Repair. For all your collision and auto repair needs, go to crashchampions.com. Absolutely. I want to thank Peter Prado for coming last night. Let's see who's happened to be on the show. Nina, great seeing you last night. My good friend. Hi, Jennifer. How are you doing, my dear friend? I hope you're doing well. Kathy's in the house. Arizona, Michael Sansone. There's Robin Schneider, Peter Prado. Thanks, great seeing you last night. Iowa's in the house. Arizona, Florida, Santa Barbara, California. There's Kathy Ippolito, looking forward to seeing you guys tonight. Holy Double T, Tony Toto. I will see you Saturday. Marion, Ellie Weinhardt. Gotta love Ellie Weinhardt. What an actress she is. She was in the movie A League of Her Own with Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell. So you got to check out the movie if you haven't seen it yet with Tom Hanks. There's no crying in baseball. That's right. Plus, she's the #1 Joan Rivers impersonator. She's fantastic, and it's great. Joanne Lulo, nice seeing you guys. All right, so great show coming up. Tim Seaton, of course, promoter, does a lot of concerts and a lot of events. And, of course, Rick Lindy will be joining us very soon. Patrice is in the house, former Chicago Honey Bear. I want to congratulate all the winners. We gave away our last 2 tickets to our show coming up November 24th at the Arcada Theater. It's called Rockin' St. Jude's. We do it every year. Nick and Phyllis Hodges. I've been proud to be part of it for many years. This one's going to be great, folks. It's going to happen Sunday, the 24th of November. It is in St. Charles. It's going to be fantastic. Listen to the lineup. Ocean's Rat Pack, of course. Nick Hodges with his tribute to Billy Joel and Elton John. Heart to Heartbreaker, tribute to Hart and Pat Benatar, Diva Montel and her sister Jerry, and American English, all in one afternoon. Oshows.com and get tickets for that on the Sunday, the 24th of November. I think that's a 1:00 in the afternoon start for the show, so it's going to be fantastic. And if some of you guys can't drive there, it's too far. And if you're in the Melrose Park, North Lake, Franklin Park, Schiller Park, Elmwood Park, River Forest, if you're in that area and you don't want to drive, I think they got maybe 8 seats left. Carl Doty, our good friend of ours, of course, he got a bus trip going. Very simple. And this is how it works. $75 per person. You'll all meet at the Melrose Park Civic Center, folks, at 11 o'clock for continental breakfast. Then you'll get on the bus, take you to the gig, take you back. Also includes the price of the ticket. Very simple. If you want to join, call Carl Doty at 224-600-0333 and join us on the 24th of November for Rockin' St. Jude's. All right, so we got a lot of stuff coming up, and of course we talk about the election on November 5th. So if you have no plans, folks, Tuesday, special Ocean's Pit Live. This will be an evening show, live remote. Hopefully you guys can come out and be part of the live studio audience at Cousins in Lake Street in Roselle. It's a 7:30. Of course, me and my co-host, the lovely Carol Brandolino. And we're going to have people on the Democratic side with their opinions. And then we're going to have people on the Republican side with their opinions. It's going to be an open night, Tuesday, November 5th, election night. And it's funny because a lot of people can talk shit, but they won't do it live in public. They won't come out and do it, which to me doesn't make any sense. I know you're not supposed to talk politics. I know you're not supposed to talk religion. But what's wrong with two normal people, men or women, sit there and have a normal conversation without ripping each other's side and doing this and doing that? This could be probably one of the biggest elections ever, at least in my lifetime, and I'll be 62 in December. So it's going to be interesting. Albert's there from the Ron Onesti organization. How you doing, my good friend Albert? So a couple minutes, folks. We got a couple things to talk about, of course, besides our 2 guests. It's interesting. Tonight, folks, I think Joe Rogan will have former President Donald Trump on, and he's got the number 2 to podcast. So that should be good, right under Tucker Carlson. It's going to be interesting. I think whoever's going to be voting for Trump has already made their decision, or they probably already voted. But it's going to be interesting how many people watch the Joe Rogan podcast. And, of course, you're watching the New York Yankees, the greatest baseball team ever, my favorite baseball team. They start to play the World Series tonight in Los Angeles against the Los Angeles Dodgers, the best of 7. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that. Hopefully, my New York Yankees will win and make it 28 World Championships. We just lost also, folks, one of the last great lounge singers, Vegas style singers. The great Jack Jones has passed away. Wives and Lovers. Most of the people remember him for singing the theme of The Love Boat. But he had been around a long time, played Vegas. Jack Jones has passed away. Just there's not many guys left. Engelbert, Tom Jones, right? I mean, Frankie Valli, I think, has lost it. I know he's going to do his last, I think this last tour, whatever it is. He's 91 years old, right? I don't know. But the kind of music that we love, it's going to be interesting to see because I don't know. I don't see anybody in the new generation coming up to taking those replacing those guys, because that will never happen. Yeah, he was a favorite of mine, Albert. Absolutely. Vince Raimondi, how are you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. And talking about the election real fast before we bring up our two guests, it's almost like the hatred of one man or hatred of one woman. You could compare. You see people that hate Donald Trump or love Donald Trump. Then you have people like Taylor Swift. You either hate Taylor Swift or you love Taylor Swift. It's amazing the hate and the love between two people. And Kamala Harris, whether you like her or not, whatever, I don't know. That's not my side. But it's the hate, and I just can't understand why so much hatred in this world. So much, we're so divided. And we're hoping, Ryan Lewis, you're my friend, pal, always. So it's going to be very interesting on November 5th. And we ain't going to know on November 5th, because the Democrats already came up with something saying it will be 13 days before they actually find out who the winner is. Excuse me. We're going to see. Is Vegas going to fall asleep again? Oh, we're too tired. We're going to count in the morning. I remember when I was a kid growing up, guys, you probably did too, right? We knew by midnight, by 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever, we knew who was president of the United States. How come they can't count that way? How come we can't find out that night? It's going to be interesting to find out. American Idol can count 13 million, 60 million views in a commercial break, and we can't count who's going to be president of the United States. Who knows, folks? Who knows? And we got so much stuff, little stuff to talk about as well. But the most important part of the show today is coming up, and we're going to bring him up right now. Tim Seaton, ladies and gentlemen, he's done a lot of great shows. I think he's got the Pat Masalo, of course, as his show. He did a bunch of shows, I think, with Tom Dreesen, another great friend who was on the show before. So let's bring up our good friend, Tim Seaton. So let's see where he's at. There is Tim. Let's bring Tim. Make sure we got him on. Hey. Tim is it. How you doing, Tim?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Great. You are here. And at the meantime, also, let's bring on our other good buddy over here, Rick Lindy in the house. Rick, how you doing, sir?
Great, guys. How you doing today?
Great seeing you both.
Okay,
obviously, folks, I'm sorry, what, Rick?
Can you hear me this time? Remember, we always have all these technical difficulties whenever I'm on.
Yes, I can hear you both very much. Yeah, it's all right. It happens all the time. It's live. That's why. Anyway, folks, you're watching Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. And before we start our interview, let's get one more sponsor, because then I want to concentrate on with Rick and Tim. So let's get right to our good friends, of course, Mary Grievous. If you're looking for real estate at its finest, my good friend Mary Grievous, folks. That's right. Perfect real estate professional, whether you're putting your home on the market or looking for your dream home. Give her a call today. She's available to assist buyers, sellers, for owners. Expired listings. That's Berkshire Hathaway Stark Real Estate. Go to M. Grievous at starkre.com or give her a call at 630-688-1725. That is our friend Mary Grievous. And if you're talking about Mary Grievous, folks, you have to talk about the Chicago Music Cruise. That's right. Again, you missed the one in January. 7,000 people joined us on that cruise ship. And we're doing it again, folks, March 22nd to March 30th. It's going to happen on the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, the Oasis of the Seas, Fort Lauderdale, Carousel, Aruba, and Coco Key, Bahamas. And joining us will be Scott Childers from WGN, Wendy Thompson with a tribute to Britney Spears and Marilyn Monroe, Mojo's Jukebox, my new rock band, the Jersey Girls, all three of them, Frankie Hollywood, Boom Boom Rodriguez from GCI, Mark Odette with Yacht Rock. They're fantastic. And let's not forget Hillbilly Rock Stars, the #1 country band in the state of Chicago, and the ringleaders themselves, Seventh Heaven. All of us, 8 days, spring break. Go to ChicagoMusicCruise.com or give our good friend Mary a call at 630-688-1725 and tell them I want to go on the ocean with Ocean. All right, folks, March 22nd to March 30th, 2025. But what we're talking about today, folks, is Wednesday, November 13th, the lovely Tivoli Theater in lovely Downers Grove, Illinois. And Tim is putting this show together. Tim, how long have you been involved with the Tivoli Theater?
I've been working with them the past 3.5 years, and I have to tell you, it's kind of a lost hidden gem. It really is. I know we had some fun out there a couple of weeks ago doing a little site visit, but it is just a beautiful 1,000 plus seat theater, historic. And a little bit of trivia, it was the second theater in the country to play a talkie movie.
Wow. So it's been there a long time, and it's beautiful. You would never know it's been there that long because it still looks beautiful. It doesn't look run down or nothing. It's very beautiful. I mean, me and Rick, we were shocked when we seen it. It was beautiful.
Gorgeous. Yeah, great, big stage too. I love the size stage. I think it's going to be great for you too.
It's going to be great for both acts. And of course, Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones, folks, been performing for many, many years with his tributes to Jerry Lee, of course, Elvis, Johnny Cash, and a whole lot more. Rick, we're excited because one thing's good about this show, folks. Yes, you can see Rick 5 nights and you can see me 5 nights and you can see, but putting us together for the first time was Tim's brainchild. And we're very honored to be involved in this. Rick, I know people are going to enjoy everything that you do when you play. What are you expecting out of this great gig, November 13th? At the Tivoli Theater in Downers Grove. And for tickets, if I'm right, classiccinema/legends.com. Is that right?
classiccinemas.com/legends.
Okay, there you go.
I put the video together, I know it now.
Very cool. So, Marianne, the name of the theater is the Tivoli Theater. Tivoli. Tivoli. It's an Italian theater, and it's going to be in Downers Grove. Marianne, hope you can see you there. All right, what do you got, Rick? What do you expect out of that show? It's going to be fun.
Well, one thing that's great about doing theater shows, and I think this goes for Rick Lindy and the Jukebox Legends, the Wild Ones, and our Roy Orbison show, is the same as it gives people when you do a theater show. When we do a nightclub, it's a little bit more intimate. We're up close. We're talking to people. People are talking while we're performing, which can be okay, but it's not our favorite. When we're entertainers, we like to have the spotlight a little bit. And this will give people a chance to see what we're like on stage and actually watching the show. And usually my band is a little bit bigger because the budget's a little bit bigger for a theater show.
Sure.
Just like yourself, we do some in different parts of the United States. We just got back from South Carolina and did a great show there. We did one in Wisconsin. We did a couple in Texas last fall. And of course, you and I both did the Minnesota thing. So what's great about doing those kind of shows, and I love traveling because we love our base core here in Chicago, but it's great to spread our wings a little bit and get around so others can see what the guys from Chicago are doing. And we end up getting new fans out of it. And we also get new fans out of doing theater shows because there's people that want to go see shows like we're doing at the Tivoli rather than going to restaurants or bars because that might not be their thing. They're more interested in the live arts.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you. Tim, what's your, I mean, you've had shows there before. You've done shows at a lot of different places. Are you seeing more people coming out? They seem like everything is embracing more. Like I think I told you this story back when I was telling some people, I see people 3 or 4 nights a week that they come out and see us. And I go, why every night? And they told me one thing was, I mean, obviously they love the music. They might like the establishment, but when the media forced us to stay home with the flu, a lot of people were afraid because they don't know if they're ever going to go out and do this again. So they'll never want to be put in that spot again. And now I see more people coming out more than ever. Tim, do you notice that too?
100%. You know, the only struggle a little bit promoters have is you know, sellouts, and that's because there's so many choices out there. That's the good news. There's all
Yeah.
kinds of people playing, every kind of musician, every kind of act. You know, the tribute shows. I mean, this summer I can't tell you how many shows there were either locally or in the city, and I'm sure many of us experienced those shows and we attended. People are not going to be complacent, sit back and let this thing beat us. I mean, people are going to get off the couch. They're going to go see live entertainment. Experience. People love the theater, and they love some of the ones that I deal with. I do it with the Egyptian Theater. I have shows there. The Tivoli is one of my favorites. And there's another one up in Michigan City we're going to get you guys to called Uptown Social. Beautiful 250-seat theater, downtown
Nice.
Michigan City.
Yeah, you know, I love that. They're, like I said, the theaters that we're doing. We're just doing another one. My good friend Arnie Granite from Jam Productions, a good friend of mine. He was the main guy behind Jam Productions. He's doing something we're going to be doing at the Ravinia. I didn't realize the Ravinia had a theater that only had 400 seats. Is it connected to the actual theater? That I don't know. The big outdoor theater, or they might have a small one. But I love the theater, like you said. People enjoy and they're paying attention to the artist instead of the bars where everybody's talking, and some people even have the TV over their head while they're playing, which I would never do. But a lot of and people don't, you know, they want to come. And do you see Tim now, because everything is so expensive these days, and Rick yourself too, as people that come out and see you and they're saying, "Oh, I want to come there," but my God, that place is so expensive. And you've been hearing that a lot too lately in the last since the last 4 years at least.
Well, sure. You know, we all had to tighten our budgets a little bit in the last 4 years. I'm not sure why that is, but perhaps it's the aftermath of COVID. But of course, the economy is a lot different than it was, and you know, that's one of the main reasons. But yes, and venues expect people to spend some money at them, obviously, because they need to pay us, and they also have to make money to keep their doors open.
Yeah.
And both you and I are fortunate that we have such great fans that continue on a regular basis to come out to see us, which we totally appreciate.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've all gotten to be good friends with those folks. And we try to respect all the club owners when they have their particular set of rules that they want to have. You know, when they have us, you have to spend $25 or what have you. And nowadays, it's pretty easy to spend that, even if you just go out to Starbucks. I mean, gosh, you could go there and get a bagel and a cup of
right.
coffee.
Is that just it's coffee and milk, right? Coffee, milk, and sugar. I don't get it. But, you know, hey, a lot of people love it. But there's certain places that you want to go to. But, Tim, you've done a lot of shows there. You got another one coming up. Pat, is Pat already played there?
Yeah, we just had Pat. We had nearly 900 people in the audience. And the brilliant thing was, the exciting thing was, it was on a Thursday night in downtown Downers Grove. So, yeah, you know, he has a great popularity. He draws well. But one of the things I wanted to mention, too, was the ticketing fees. People go through the ceiling on ticketing fees when they pay $17.50, $22.50 per ticket. I have to tell you, the ticketing fee at the Tivoli is $3. It's an event fee, and which is a tax for the city to keep that theater rolling, and the other portion is to process your Visa, MasterCard, American Express. So $3 isn't bad at all.
Not at all. You can't get anything for $3 these days. I think even a large Diet Coke is $2.89. So there you go, to tell you on that. You also had a mutual friend of ours.
Bill, do they?
Yeah, yeah. Good point, Rick. You also had a very good friend of ours, and I think you still work with him, the great Tom Dreesen. How is Tom doing these days?
He's doing great. He just celebrated his 85th birthday. And I don't know, most people don't know this. He lives out in LA. He lives in the Sherman Oaks area. And he works every week. There's a comedy club out there, and he is either there on a Friday or a Saturday night. I don't want to say he just hangs around because he performs. So
Yeah.
I guess you could say he performs all year round, and then he'll take a few things out on the road. And I love to have him back every September. He throws the first pitch out at the Cubs game. He celebrates his birthday. I've had multiple shows when he comes in September, but he's one of the greatest guys you could ever meet, a real legend, and just all around a real gentleman too. He really is.
A really gentleman, and from south side of Chicago. He's a Chicago boy, which is fantastic too. You got to love that. Rick Lindy, Tim Seedham, folks. Don't forget we got November 13th, Tivoli Theater. It's going to be a great show together. Rick, what kind of songs will they be hearing on the 13th when they come and see you? Us.
Well, we'll be doing the Jukebox Legends of 50s, 60s, and a little bit of 70s. Some rock and roll, some ballads. We do a little bit of the Elvis stuff you were talking about from the 70s, but we also do the 50s and 60s style Elvis. We also do Johnny Cash. We do Roy Orbison. We do some Jay and the Americans. We do some Chuck Berry. We do some Beatles, Dion, Del Shannon, Buddy Holly. Tons of
so you cover all the greats, which is fantastic. And Rick, you do a great job at it. You got a great band behind you, and I'm excited. Now we played some shows together. Rick even played some guitar for my band with Andy. Remember, those are good times. Didn't we do the casino in Rosemont? Remember?
Oh yes, many times.
Yeah,
I remember the
backstage.
backstage with all the Red Bulls, and we drank so many of those that we were ready to fly off.
Yeah, I was doing the Jack. I don't do Rick Bulls, but yeah. So yeah, that was good. But I'm excited. Tim, you see, you also got some involvement. Aren't you still doing something with the Illinois Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I am still a proponent of that. I was on the board for many years. As a matter of fact, I just talked to Ron Ramiro yesterday on a couple of topics. But yeah, that's still in the works. They did have a little bit of damage from the tornado. Yes. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of a setback. Gigantar, the big guitar that hangs on the outside of the building, wasn't affected, but they wanted to look at it structurally and add lights to that guitar. So, yeah, they had a few setbacks, but the museum is still out there, and Ron works pretty hard every day to keep that thing, back on track.
He does a good job with that. Let's talk real fast if we can. Rick, the future of music. I know it doesn't affect us because we're doing the old stuff, but with the new stuff going on right now, and you used to be able to rehearse with your band, make a demo, send it out, get a deal, get some tour support, do this, whatever it is. Now you can just go on social media and you can be halfway decent. You can, you can become a mega star.
Yeah, maybe so. As far as what I do is, to be honest with you, I've just always loved the old stuff, even when I was young and started doing this stuff when I was 10 years old and started playing guitar, and before that piano. Always came from a musical family. My dad and mom were both musicians and artists just like me.
But how does that affect you, knowing all the work that you as an artist you put into and doing your stuff, and then some crackpot can get on this phone and have a million of views just because he's lip syncing to another song, and next he goes on The View, and he goes on all these shows, and they become huge. I mean, it really is horrible what's going on with the music, and that's what I'm just afraid of what the future brings.
I agree. I mean, what's really kind of insulting to somebody that can really sing is they can take anybody and auto-tune them in a studio. And to me, I can always hear that. I can hear the digital effect that, even in country music, they have it now. Before it was kind of like coming out when Cher did Do You Believe in Life After Love and all that. It was kind of a synthesized voice thing going on. Remember that?
Yeah.
But it kind of, to me, it always sounds a little bit like that. And the way that I look at it is this, people that really, really love music and know a singer or a musician, they're music people, so to speak. And then there's people that just listen to music for entertainment. I think there's a little bit of a difference. It's kind of like an art connoisseur, somebody that, might buy a print from a Home Goods to paint, hang on their wall, and
Yeah.
somebody that buys a painting from a gallery that's by a real artist. I mean, to me, it's kind of the same thing in a way.
Yeah. Well, you know
Um,
that makes a hell of a lot of sense. And let's go to Tim on this one. Tim, you book groups, you see groups. You're seeing. Let's take an example. You're seeing a band called Sweet. No,
Mhm.
none of the guys in the band Sweet right now were ever in the original band. They can buy the rights to the name. They can go around and tour the country. So you're
Right.
not really getting Sweet.
Yeah.
And
You know,
you as a buyer, right? As you as a buyer bringing somebody in, and here comes, let's say Bachman Turner Overdrive. There's no Bachman. There's no whatchamacallit. Do you think? I mean, does people really care anymore?
they don't. And let me tell you why. I mean, I do as a promoter. I mean, I
Yes.
remember when it was 3 dog night, then it went to 2 dog night. Now it's 1 dog night. But
Yeah.
at least they have one original, one original member. That's kind of a sad story, a 3 dog night. But
Sure.
I think there's 2 ways to look at it. As a promoter, I want somebody who is an original. That's my personal opinion. I need some. The second way to look at it is the way that Don Henley looks at it. And he doesn't care who shows up or who's playing. You come there for the music. But I think it's a little deceptive if they say, this is the band, they bought the rights, and there's nobody there, not even a legacy, not even like the Nelsons. You don't even have a son or a daughter.
Right.
That's a shame in my book. And I know that they have to have certain disclaimers and make sure that people know about that. But as long as there's 1 or 2 guys or 1 or 2 women in the band, I feel a lot more comfortable promoting them.
That they're bringing up, which makes a lot of sense. But it just goes to show you now with all these oldies acts that are coming in. Hate to call them oldies acts, but they are filling the theaters. People are surprised. They still want to hear the Grand Funks. They still want to hear these great songs and these great groups. The problem is these guys are all getting older and older and older. Do we see any young bands or anything that can come up to that level 20 years from now? What are we going to be seeing at these live venues and shows? Because I don't know. I mean, what's a band out there that's out there right now that they can say they had 30 years of success with songs and touring the country and making records? I don't know of anybody. And remember, I'm an old school, so I don't even listen to the radio. So, but I mean, the future has got to it's got to look bad for these theaters, maybe, and for promoters and stuff like that. What are you thinking on that, Tim?
Well, there are people who produce and write, original music, original ballads.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of getting them exposed, because like you said, so much of the music is synthesized.
Yes.
And this next generation, because we look at it at the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum, who's going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame, they're dealing with Smashing Pumpkins, believe it or not. They've already been on that. So they've been 5 years plus. They're going to be inducted. Plain White Tees are approaching that 20-year plus perform.
Right.
They have a legacy. They have a lot of fans. But like you said, starting today going forward, I mean, I think the pickings are slim. A lot of artists out there. There's a lot of genres, not necessarily that I'm fond of, because music has changed. But it's a challenge. It really is challenging.
And,
well, let me ask you, can I say something on that note?
Yeah, go ahead, Rick.
Mo, you've been in bands when you first started doing music that probably did original music before, right?
Sure, absolutely.
So did I. With actually Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones started out as an original rockabilly band. We have 2 CDs produced in Norway, and that's where that music seemed to be a little bit more on fire back in the 90s and early 2000s, and maybe now. I'm not sure because I haven't been there for a while, but I think all of us that start out in music, we kind of want to be able to do our own music and play our own music. And you might agree with this, back in the 90s and very early 2000s, there were a lot more original bands that were drawing in Chicago downtown. Now, if you and I try to play in Chicago, if it's not a private, a corporate, or a theater, it's like they really don't want to pay us anything.
No.
So
I don't know. I
that's
don't
why
even know
we
if they
play in
paid.
the suburbs a lot.
Yeah, but I don't even know back then. If you look at the Kind, you looked at the Thumbs, Pez Band, off Broadway, Styx before they became
Mhm.
huge, REO I think, from Champaign, the Elvis Brothers. You had the Ides of March. You had Survivor, Cheap Trick from Rockford. Even when they first started playing these, I remember seeing these. Well, I'm going to remember. I'm going to be 62, so I was sneaking into some of these places where I shouldn't have been in, and seeing Cheap Trick for $4, or seeing Haymakers or whatever it was, and it's yeah. I mean, it's very hard now these days. And there used to be record labels here in the city of Chicago. Now there's not record labels anymore. Everybody moved to LA or they moved to Nashville, where all the record things is. So it's very tough for an original band to make it. But with these social media now, if you can get the right move, you can be discovered, and and there's a lot of good acts out there too, besides the people that just come out and do what their stuff is. Rick Lindy, Tim Cena, big show coming up November 13th at the Tivoli Theater, folks. Ocean's Rat Pack and Rick Lindy's Jukebox Legends. It's going to be a lot of fun. A couple more questions before you guys go. I know you're busy. Let's go to Tim, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio. A lot of bands have still not been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and then there's some that I don't understand why they're in there. Why do you think some bands do not get in there? You think it's a political thing?
I think it's political. It's based on some popularity, but then why isn't Styx in there? I mean, I can't even believe that Styx isn't in there. I'm just every year. I'm just
Ritz
more and more
finally got in
shocked.
there. What, 10 years ago? 10 years ago, whatever. They finally got in. But there's bands that should be in there. Three Dog Night is not even in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
What about the One Dog Night? Did they get in?
Yeah, the One Dog Night is. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. There's still hope. There's still hope. But no, I agree with you, and I think that they select different genres. I mean, I think it was last year with Dolly Parton who got in.
And Dolly actually went out and
I wonder how she got in.
Yeah, but remember, she said she didn't want. No, I can't. I'm not accepted. I
Right.
don't want to do it.
Right.
I don't feel right. So she went and recorded a rock and roll record, which is actually pretty good.
Right. But I think what they're trying, maybe in the beginning they shouldn't have said Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They should have said Music Hall of Fame. Might have been more appropriate. Because they really do, they embrace a lot of different kind of music. But there's a lot. And, I was just ago, I made a visit with some of the other guys from our in Illinois, and I was surprised at how many bands weren't inducted into the Hall of Fame there in Cleveland.
It's pretty scary about that. Rick Lindy, if you had a chance to see, I don't even know if you got to see any of the guys that you perform live. Did you actually get a chance to see Johnny Cash ever, or Elvis, or Jerry Lee, or anything like that?
Actually, I got a chance to see Elvis in the 70s when I was 10 years old, right before he passed away, at the stadium. And I did get a chance to see Johnny Cash and open up for him one time. Now, with Johnny Cash, you talk about bands that the original members weren't in. I was in the Serendipity Singers right out of college, and I toured with that band. And the Serendipity Singers originated back in 1963 in the folk era, if you remember.
Sure.
And so when I was in college, right out of college, I graduated. I was going to go in the Marine Corps. I was going to go to Desert Storm, and my mom didn't want me to go there, so she saw this ad for the Serendipity Singers saying, you should try out for this tour band. I didn't know what band it was. So I went and I auditioned with my guitar. I got accepted and got to be in the band, and I toured all over USA, Canada, and Mexico with the Serendipity Singers. And during that time frame, I was in Washington, D.C., and I was going to see Smithsonian Institute on my day off, and I went to Ford's Theater, and across the street there was a bus in front of a music store. It said Johnny Cash on the bus, and I said, well, damn, he's got to be in there, and I had a Sun Records t-shirt and then a little bit more hair on top for a pompadour. So I went in there, and there he was. And I went up to him and I said, "Mr. Cash, I'm a big fan." And he was very personable. The salesman basically kicked me out of there. And then 6 years later, I got a chance to open up for Johnny. And I asked to go in the green room. And when I got to meet him again, he said, "You came a long way since Washington, D.C." So I thought, God, this guy actually remembered me.
Yeah,
He was
that,
just a
that,
different guy. As
yeah.
far as Roy Orbison, I was in Big Guitars from Memphis, and Big Guitars from Memphis opened up for Roy Orbison at the that what the hell's the name of it again? The one that's in Lincoln Park.
Whatever it is, but you opened up for him. So what was that like?
Yeah, I wasn't in the band at the time,
Okay.
unfortunately, but they opened up before I got in. And I talked to John Ivan, who was in Off Broadway, but he started Big Guitars from Memphis with some of the guys that were in Pez Band, if you remember them.
Sure.
And so they opened up for Roy. And at the time, Roy was almost on the cusp of being in Traveling Wilburys and starting his career over with his Mystery Girl album, which he got very famous for again right before he passed away in 1988 in December. But John had said that he was just like a quiet, normal guy that was very approachable, very appreciative, very quiet, very kind of shy, had sunglasses on. The reason I got sunglasses on is almost the same reason that he did.
You wouldn't be high by any chance, would you?
I'm not blind. No, I'm not.
No, high. I mean, you wouldn't
I
be
got
high.
a little haze underneath the reading glasses.
Yeah,
I
seen
Sam over him. I can't see your face if I were to.
Yeah, I seen Sam. I seen Sam.
I'm not like trying to be cool and wear my shades.
I got it. I
looks
seen
a little
Sam
better than reading glasses, right?
Yeah, right. I seen Sam Kitterson, and he opened his show by going, "I'm wearing glasses. I wouldn't be high by any chance, would you, Sam?" I mean, But anyway, I'm excited about this show, Tim and Rick, on the 13th of November, Tivoli Theaters. If they want tickets, Rick, tell them where to go.
Well, you could get tickets at www.classiccinemas.com/legends. And that's at the Tivoli Theater on Wednesday, November 13th at 7 p.m. Very excited to do the show. Tim and I worked together a little bit. I met him in Orland Park when I was performing there. He approached me about doing some shows together. And I did a show at the Egyptian Theater for our 25th anniversary for Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones this past April. And usually I have Scott McKay MC. He wasn't able to do it. And so I was talking to Tim at the time, and I asked him, "Hey, would you like to MC the show?" He did such a fabulous job.
Thank you.
He's such a nice, easygoing guy to get along with that when he approached me to do this show, I was very excited, not only to do the show with Tim, but also with you, Mo, because I think you and I have a lot in common. We have a weird sense of humor. We like the Three Stooges. We like a lot of the same music. We have a lot of the same friends.
Don't forget painting our models that we love doing. And by God, you are incredible at that. We got to get you on one day and show some of that work that you do, which is fantastic, guys. We are still talking to Tivoli. Yeah, Tivoli Theater on the 13th. Timmy, what prices? What prices to get for the theater that day?
Yeah, this is another show that I have gone with one price, all reserved seats, $29.50, and what that means is the earlier you select your seats closer. So if you go online right now, it's kind of like one of those V's going back, and then they're trimming the aisles. But I have to tell everybody we're going to have a big bump in the next couple of. So if you want to sit a little, there is no balcony. All seats are reserved. You're going to have assigned seating, $29.50. Deal of the century, I'll tell you, for two of the best Chicago legends that we have here.
Thank you.
Musically, sincerely, when I had this, like you said, Tony, the brainchild that came to me, I thought, my God, what a value to see you guys perform 2 hours plus and to hear every hit from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. It's going to be an amazing show.
I
Thank
agree
you.
with you. And one of the questions that someone asked, is there food or anything to eat at the theater there, Tim?
Yes, full concessions, and there will be a bar. So the Tivoli has a full bar as far, and then of course all
Very
the
important, ladies and gentlemen. There will be a bar. Very
concessions.
important.
Yes, heck, especially. Yes, yes. So, and one last thing
Absolutely.
I just want to throw out to you. Congratulations on that Josie Award nomination, Tony. That's
Thank you.
spectacular.
Congratulations.
You know
That's
what?
awesome.
We won. Yeah, we won in 2022, and now we're nominated again. And then Rat Pack won last year in 2023. It's a great event. It just to be nominated is so cool, and just to step foot on that Grand Ole Opry stage, because that's where you're accepting the award, or when you get nominated, you get called up after you win. If you win, I was very fortunate. I was trying to think about what do I say. I don't know what to say. So I go, my wife knows that my mouth, I'm very unfiltered. So she goes, I don't know what he's going to say. So I got an idea. So I walked up there and they go, the winner is Ocean's Pit. And I go, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I thank Tina Marie, Josie, thanks my wife. And I go, I also want to say the last time my name was ever called, I was in court. And the place went up for grabs. I go, thank you very much. God bless. And I walked out. So, what do you do in situations like that? Rick, and I think we talked about, we got a couple minutes left before the show's over, but Rick, when you get fans that come up to you and people talk to you, you don't want to be short with people, but sometimes you're not finished tuning yet, or you're not finished doing your thing. It's very humbling when some of these people come up to me and say, man, my day started, we're listening to you, or I seen you last night, or my life. A lot of people said when you started the show in 2020, we were watching it and that made us laugh and smile and stop thinking about the crazy shit that was going on in this world. So we're very lucky to have some great friends.
No, absolutely. And one thing that we have to say is it's so important for all of you to try to make the theater shows. Yes, you can see us for free at some of these other shows or just by buying a meal or what have you. But these kind of shows are few and far between. $29.50 is not a ton of money. I mean, to some people it might be, and we totally appreciate anyone that's willing to do that. But to be able to support the arts like this, fill the theater a little bit, and
you're supporting the theater too. Very important. You're supporting the theater and the neighborhood and the customs of these theaters, where a lot of these theaters were movie theaters, and now they're trying to bring live concerts, and now they're also still showing movies, which is very cool. Nothing like seeing King Kong at the theater. We couldn't see it when I was a kid, so going to see it when somebody did do the horror week.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
I saw the Wolfman at the Pickwick.
Yeah, I mean that's not cool. Especially Halloween really cool. When they showed. They did the Godzilla Film Festival in Rosemont when they had God's G Fest in town, which I go every year, and they showed every film. So I was there like at 10 o'clock in the morning. I didn't leave till 9 o'clock at night, watching Godzilla on the big screen. Is the old Godzilla, not this new shit.
Yeah,
the old stuff with the guys in the rubber suits. Yeah. Anyway, we got to go, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Lindy, Jukebox Legends, Wild Ones, and of course the tribute to Roy Orbison. Tim Seaton's got a lot of great stuff happening. Thank you, Rick. Rick, for what you do, bringing music.
Thank you for having me on the show.
And Tim, really thank you for even reaching out. I think you reached out a year ago and tried to get me to do something with Tom Dreesen, and I would definitely like to do that again when we get a chance. But thank you guys again. Don't forget, Wednesday, November 13th, Tivoli Theater. You got to come out, $29.50. You can't beat that. 7 o'clock. Rick Lindy, Ocean's Rat Pack. It's just going to be a ring-a-ding night, as Frank or Sammy and Dean would say. Guys, have an incredible weekend. Thank you, my good friend Tim and Rick Lindy, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you,
guys.
Thank you very much.
Have a great weekend, guys. Have a great weekend. Tim, seeing everybody. Thank you. God bless you guys. Give it up for Tim. All right. And then we want to thank also the great Rick Lindy joining us here today, guys, on the weekend. It is Ocean's Pit, little show about big things, folks. How about airtight windows? Airtight windows. If you're looking for windows and you want it done right, do it right with airtight windows. Call Louis Pipes at 708-788-5000 and tell him Tony O sent you. That's airtight tight windows. Deutsch Power Center, servicing the construction and diesel industry in the last 100 years. That's Deutsch Power Center. And Jack Vena Landscaping, folks. Landscaping at its finest. You can't beat my good buddy Tom from Jack Vena Landscaping. Get your spring, fall cleanup, mulching, fertilizing, weed control, and fall cleanup, plant design, service, and installation. Servicing the North Shore, 44 years. Call Tommy at 847-432-5266 and tell him Tony O sent you. Get your stuff done, folks. We got about 5 minutes left. Tonight, Chicago Prime Steakhouse in Schaumburg. Tomorrow, Taverna on Division in Melrose Park with Double T, Tony Toto, and tonight with Daryl Armenstad. A couple other things, folks. Let's see. Bill Gates. He has a McDonald's Gold Card. He gets free food worldwide. Woo! Why would that make the news? Who gives a shit about Bill Gates? All right, let's get down to the next one. You got to love it, folks. And Black Friday is coming around the corner in November, right? Forget about the TVs. We got the big giant TVs. We got computers now. We got all that stuff. How about some sales on groceries? So people can afford maybe having a nice Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner or just a regular putting food on the table. How about doing these grocery prices? Lower them a little bit, would you please, for Black Friday. Speaking of guys trying to make save deals, all these companies out there, McDonald's right now, if you're into McDonald's and you like that kind of stuff, 10-piece McNuggets for $1. 10 pieces of McNuggets from McDonald's starting November 4th through December 2nd, 10 pieces for $1. All these fast food places that are trying to bring in business. Disneyland. How many people used to go to Disney? It's expensive. It gets more expensive every year. Right now, going into 2025, kids will be able to play just a $50 ticket for a kid. I don't know what the regular price is, but $50, and they're going to give you off 25% off hotel room for Disney. Thank you, Albert. We need it now. Absolutely. So $50 for tickets for kids for Disney. I guess it's got to be better than whatever the price was. I don't know. Interesting. Beetlejuice. I don't even remember seeing the original movie, and I know another one came out. I know Michael Keaton's in it, but if you want a chance to stay at that home, actually, the Dietz House, they have tours now in Hillsborough, New Jersey, and they're turning it into an Airbnb. Woo! According to the New York Post, go stay at the Beetlejuice mansion. Should be interesting, folks. A human skull found in Bolingbrook in the woods. Nothing surprises me anymore. Human skull. There was a head last week. 2 people walking on the expressway got killed the week before. It's just one crazy shit after another. Dr. Pepper's come out with pickled flavored pop or soda. Depends on how you look at it. Pickled flavored. I mean, I love Dr. Pepper. I don't drink it too often, but you gotta love it, folks. All right, we got about 2 minutes left. Let's go to headlines. What headlines do we have? Did you guys know cabbage? Now, whether you like cabbage or not, I don't know. But wrapping your leg in cabbage can relieve joint pain, arthritis, inflammation, and swelling. Cabbage. Some health things to mention to you guys today. Oh my God. Target now gets deals. That's people buy $330 iPads for just $70 in store. Guys, listen to this. Look up your neighborhood Target. These iPads are normally $330. You can get them for $70 in the store. Check it out at your available nearest Target dealership. Who gets drunk before they go out and get drunk? Only alcoholics will understand that, right? You go out, you're going to go to a bar with a bunch of friends. Let's go to this bar first, have a few pops before we go to that bar. Have a little drink, folks. Life is too damn short. Boy, this is good. I'm just trying to come up with some other stuff here quickly as we are running out of time. If you're looking for boats, listen to this. The Chicago Harbors will be holding an abandoned boat auction on the 25th of October, which is today, folks. These are boats that were either left over, people couldn't afford the payments, stolen in stingrays and feds. These are boats that you can get on the Montrose Harbor auction. Well, the first one is 11 o'clock, but you have another one until 2:30. Or you can go online to www.chicagoharbors.info/abandoned boats and probably get some boats at a cheap price, because these are boats that people could not afford. And who knows where they got some of these boats. So why not? How about it? You can't beat it. With the election coming up, folks, some sad news that you got to hear too. Never forget that 20 homeless, decorated combat veterans, the way they're treating our veterans in this regime, right in the last, it's just crazy what they've done for our veterans. Veterans have been fighting our country forever and still do. And it's horrible what they're going through. But 20 homeless, decorated combat veterans were thrown out of a New York hotel to make room for 60 single illegal aliens. Think about what they think about the veterans. Throwing them out. 20 of them, decorated veterans, homeless veterans, to bring in 60 single illegal aliens. That's this regime, ladies and gentlemen. That's this regime. And last story that you're not going to believe even if I told you this. Man rushed to the hospital after stuffing 15 hard-boiled eggs up his ass. You can't make this up, folks. You can't make you can't make this up. A Dutch man was hospitalized of inserting 15 hard-boiled eggs in his rectum while under the influence of drugs. The bizarre incident led to severe abdominal pain, promoting emergency security to remove the eggs, which had caused tears in his testicles. You can't make this shit up. All right, folks. Well, anyway, I want to thank Tim Seaton, ladies and gentlemen, the promoter for our big show coming up November 13th at the Tivoli Theater, and Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones, the Jukebox Legends, and of course his tribute to Roy Orbison. It's going to be a great show Wednesday, November 14th. It's just fun having these guys. It is gross, right, Marion? How about we got some other shows coming up? Let's not forget, we already told you about the Tivoli. We told you about St. Jude's. We'll be in Louisiana next Friday and Saturday at the Louisiana Downs Casino with Ocean's Rat Pack. My mother's birthday bash is going to happen on the 9th of November at Bellagio, so I can't wait. We have a lot of fun celebrating 85 years for my mom. I can't wait for that. And we'll be back at Little Pops New York Style Restaurant Pizzeria in Lisle on the 20th of November, and Halloween costume party at Rosario's on the 30th next Wednesday. Come dressed up and win prizes. Rosario's birthdays for October 25th. Joyce Randolph, better known as Trixie on the Honeymooners, would have been 100 years old today. Ted Nugent, Motorman, Detroit, 75. Jeff Goldblum, great actor, 72 years old. Bun E. Carlos, one of the greatest drummers in rock and roll with Cheap Trick, turned 74 today. Rick Derringer, rock and roll, hoochie coo, baby, 77 years old. Steve Miller, I'm a joker, I'm a stoker, I'm a smoker. Steve Miller, 81 years old. Guy Hawkes, keyboard player for the Cars, turned 72 years old. Lady Gaga, she's only 38 years old today. God, you got to love them. Whew. Johnny Carson, the greatest ever late night talk show. We miss him so much, celebrating the birthday. Shania Twain, if I'm pronouncing that right, 59 years old. John Stamos, woo, 61 years old. Ryan Reynolds, celebrating the birthday. Weird Al Yankovic, 65 years old. Julie Andrews, The Sound of Music, 89 years old. Country star Alan Jackson turned 66 years old. A great restaurant in the city of Chicago, Volare. Of course, our friend Benny, but Volare celebrating 25 years in business. Volare, downtown Chicago. Congratulations to Benny and the crew. Elvin Bishop, Fool Around and Fell in Love. Kevin Bacon, 66 years old, and Bradley Cooper turning 49 years old. No, it's not a private party for my mom on the 9th. It's open to the public. That's November 9th at Bellagio in Roselle with the main event band, Danny Ramundi and Tony Toto. Tonight, Chicago Prime Steakhouse with Daryl Armenstadt, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, Taverna on Division, 8 o'clock with Double T, Tony Toto. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, I want to thank my friend Tim Seaton and, of course, the great Rick Lindy for being our guest today on Fridays. The folks, last but not least, let's not forget our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place, buy local, shop local. Norwich, Plains, Evergreen Park, Warrenville, Mesa, Arizona. Download the Ace Rewards app. Easy way to keep track of your points, coupons, and special offers. Ace is the place, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods, guys. We got to go. It's been a great Friday, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please share the show. Let everybody know about Ocean's Pit Little Show about big things. Buy local, shop local, support local establishments, support live entertainment. Most important, be kind to everybody because life is too damn short. And don't forget, folks, get off your toots, your butt, your ass, however you want to call it, and go vote in person. And bring like 10 or 15 friends with you. Vote in person. We need to make a change. Guys, God bless you all. And the great words of Ringo Starr, peace and love. We need it more than ever. Happy weekend, everybody. God bless. We'll be back Monday, folks, but we'll be live from Nashville, Tennessee on Ocean's Pit on our way to Graceland. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good one. Nick Sahajas, take us out.
Oh, it's the end of the show. See